Action.
Hi, I'm Kendrick Dobb, Cooking for Love live YouTube channel. So glad you could join me. Right now I wanted to show you my secret for cooking great salmon. To do restaurant quality salmon, but really simple and fast and at home. This is my secret, what I learned in culinary school. What I did was I did a pre-cure on the salmon. When I got home, I just did a light sea salt with a little sprinkle of sugar when I came home, and did a little pepper, and I let this sit. I wrapped it back up in the paper and put it back in the refrigerator, and I let it sit for a couple of hours. Let it get nice and flavorful. What a pre-cure does, or pre-brine I should say, is it pulls the flavors up to the top, and it also tenderizes it. So I've got this hot oil, it's grapeseed oil. Boy, it's really nice and hot right now. And so I'm going to do presentation side down. In other words, you eat food with your eyes. So you and the person you're eating with, or you by yourself, you want to look at food that's just great, that really makes you hungry. So I like to do the skin side. Some people, the non-skin side. Some people want skin side. I'm going to do this side. So it's hot, so it's going to sizzle. And when you cook any meat, you want it sizzling when you put it down. So I'm going to do it like, oh wait a minute, let me fire this up. You want to sizzle, that's not hot enough. So hold on 1 second. Let's get that thing really hot. I thought I had it ready to go. So let's really get it hot. There we go. I want it to sizzle, because that's what's going to give you a really pretty top. That's what I want to hear. Now I'm going to turn it to sort of a medium, I probably put a little too much oil in there, but it's okay. You know, you don't have to be perfect when you cook. Don't let anybody say that you do. You know, just have fun with it. And the more you cook, the more you get a feel for it. So these are thick pieces of salmon. I actually got one piece, and then I cut them in half with my boning knife. And so I'm going to let this cook for a bit. And it's so thick that you need to just let it rest and just let it cook, so that skin side gets nice and brown. And you can see it starting to solidify. So just be patient. Don't do anything with it. Let the protein coagulate. Let it cook. And it's going to splatter a little bit. And then I'm going to flip it just a little bit. And sometimes I cover it too. You know, sometimes it's a good idea to maybe cover it and let it kind of get a steaming effect, and that way you can let it do its thing. It cooks faster, so sometimes that's a good idea. But just let it do its thing. You want it to cook fast at a shorter period of time whenever you're pan frying, and that's a good idea as well. So it's about time, I think, to take a peek. I think now, actually what I'm going to do is get my straight edge, turn this over. Oh, hold on 1 second. Look how pretty that is. These are slim pieces, so these are a little harder to turn. Look how pretty that is. Now I'm going to let that sit and just go ahead and cover it and let that cook. Now I'm going to let it, I didn't want to get it too terribly dark. I could have let it sit for a little bit longer. The longer it sits, it would have gotten a little bit more brown. But now, since it's so thick, I'm going to turn it, I think actually that's pretty good. And I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer, because what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to take it out of its skin before I serve it. And then also I'm going to finish it off with, I'm going to put some whole pieces of garlic. I'm also going to put a few capers in, And I also am going to add at the end some nice creamy butter. And I'm going to maybe add a little Dijon and some wine and swirl the pan. The butter is going to give it a nice creamy, milky feel to it, and some oil. And of course you're going to get some nice Dijon flavor, and the capers and then the wine is going to really sort of take away some of the fishiness. And that is it. So it's just, I think it's ready. I'm going to turn this down. Actually, I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to go ahead and throw these in. Just the whole pieces. And they will absorb. They will absorb these wonderful pieces of garlic. I'll go ahead and throw in the butter. I mean, it's so simple. And the butter starts creaming, really pretty. Now I can sort of stir in a little bit of the Dijon. Actually, go ahead and just put a little bit. Stir that around just a little bit. Really nice flavor. And that gives you just a built-in sauce. It's really nice. I'm going to stir this up just a little bit, and then we can add the wine on top. And then you can let it finish with the wine. But the first thing that you put in is usually going to absorb. Turn that up a little bit, just kind of boil that out. Just kind of bring it to a boil and then turn it back down, and then just sort of let it simmer. And that's really about it. You can also add a little bit more butter. Very French to do. And it's not much, it's really just to flavor up the fish. So, and that's really it. Now it's a thick piece of fish, so it's actually going to finish it. So this kind of is actually a combination pan fry braise. So you're doing, actually combining two methods of cooking, but it's really going to give it a nice flavor. You could also put some Kalamata olives in here, and what's nice about that is it gives you another layer of flavor, and it gives you another texture. And it's really wonderful. It's very delicate flavor, and it's nice to serve with other vegetables, with rice, with potatoes. It makes a real pretty color on the dish. It's pretty to serve, and the residual juice that's left over is nice to spoon over, and it's really pretty when you spoon the capers and the green capers on top of the orange color of the fish is really pretty, and also the Kalamata olives are very pretty as well. It's a wonderful dish to feed yourself. It's wonderful to feed your significant other, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, your family. And as you see, it's very simple, and it's done. So that's what I have today. That's one of the many recipes I have for cooking salmon. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cooking for Love Live, and I'm Kendrick Dopp. Bye-bye.